Good morning, everybody. Here we are at New Smyrna with the secondhand racing Arca Summer Series. Looks like we're losing a few people, lost a few people. We're down to about 12 in the field, or 11 in the field. Actually, I'm not even supposed to be in the field, so it's showing me in there, but I'm not supposed to be in there. But yeah, so we're down a few people this week for whatever reason. So, but we still got 11, and that's good enough. So thanks for joining in on the broadcast. We appreciate it. Do some due diligence here. All right. So we were at heck, I can't remember where we were last week. We're at New Smyrna, so we'll give it this way. We'll start this way. We're New Smyrna Speedway at New Smyrna Beach, Florida. 125 laps. We moved the fuel down to 30%. We wanted to try to force some kind of a pit stop if we could. And one fast repair with a 17-point instant level limit. New Smyrna is the host to the Florida Governor's Cup, regarded as the second most prestigious super late model race in Florida, only behind the Snowball Derby. Also used to be the top tier NASCAR series for testing, the track for testing. For such tracks as Martinsville, Richmond, and Phoenix. These guys came to New Smyrna to test because of similarities until the testing ban. So we're going to go to series points. Last week's points were Lloyd Cooper won the race last week, Mike Bass came in second, Tony Pendon, Brian Smith, Teddy Whiteley, David Knighton, Brent Lee, Shane Gross, Louis Guerrero, Todd Liston. Justin Anderson came in at 11th, Tina Pipkin, Kent Connolly, and Eddie Moa. And it looks like we're missing Kent and Eddie today, and then Todd as well. So we're down a few guys from last week. And our championship points kind of run this way. Mike's still holding on to the lead. Lloyd Cooper is a close second. I don't have the points behind, but I think I'm going to add that in the future broadcast so we can see how far behind these guys are. For those of you that are in the league, and I'm sure you've already been to the website to go look, because all that is listed there as well. David Knotton in 4th, Tony Pendon in 5th, Teddy Whiteley 6th, Shane Gross in 7th, Justin Anderson. He was up a little farther. He fell to 8th. He had a little bit of a bad week last week. Ken Connolly in 9th, Louis Guerrero in 10th. Todd Liston in 11th, Brent Lee, Eddie Moa, Tina Pipkin, Derek Brown, and Marshall Scully. They did not race last week, so they'll probably remain on the bottom because I don't see them in the field today. So we got about 4 minutes left before qualifying begins. These guys are dialing in, and most everybody here that's here today practiced a little bit, and for those that didn't, they are getting their laps in right now. Let's do a little promo. Yep, that's what we're looking for. We got the Ford 150 came into iRacing on the last build, and for those of you that are starting your truck series, that gives you another option. And I know that one of the leagues that I'm in and I broadcast for occasionally are going to be having their truck series here shortly in the next month or so, and then I know that 5 race and that's the car I'm going to be running. I'm a big time Ford fan. So let's look at some of the practice speeds here. Looks like we got Mike Bass is holding on to the lead. His fast lap was 18.315. Let's see, I don't know how I got that there. And his next, number 2 is 18.382. Brian Smith, Justin Anderson with an 18.410. And down the line, so they're all grouped pretty close together within a few tenths or few 100ths of a second. So we're just kind of waiting for it to wind down, so I'll get some qualifiers in here, and then we're going to see if we can catch a couple. So your first and second place qualifiers are 0.007 thousandths difference, so I mean very close. Alright, that's the end of qualifying. See if we can catch on to a driver or two. This shouldn't take too long. Yeah, some of the drivers that aren't here today, that's going to hurt them in the championship run. We're going to run Martinsville next weekend, and then the weekend after that for 4th of July is an off week. So yeah, so those that have missed 2 races are probably out of the picture. Those that missed today, yeah, I'm sure they still have a chance to move up into the field if they end up racing the rest of the races. Let's hope they do. I'm enjoying the stream or the race room as a race member, and that was a mistake. I was supposed to join as a spectator, so I'm in the field, but I'm not racing, of course. Well, nobody's lighting up on my board, so I don't know if we're getting any qualifiers. See some times being posted, but I don't see anybody lit up. Well, I'm seeing some times being posted, but I don't see anybody lit up on my board, so I can't catch anybody. And I apologize for that. I don't know what's going on there. Well, right now we got Teddy in the lead as far as qualifying is going. Luis Guerrero in second. Justin Anderson brings it in third. So everybody's got it pretty. We got 1, 2, 3 that didn't take time, so that should be about pretty much the end of qualifying there. That's kind of boring, wasn't it? So we'll just have to wait for the clock to run down. I don't really have any other promos or anything else to talk about seriously, so just kind of wait it out. Hope everybody's having a good weekend. So let's look at some of the points again here, series points. So we got Lloyd. He got his first win of the season, and his first win in the few leagues that we run together in. And Mike Bass fell to second place, and he's got a win. So these guys are tied. Not tied for the first place, but Mike's still holding on the championship, but Lloyd's running a close second. So, and Brian Smith, he's usually our hot shoe and a lot of this stuff, and I think these short tracks are giving him a little bit of a challenge, which is kind of good to see. Good to see it's a mixed bag of drivers in this field. So, okay, so it looks we're pretty much done with qualifying, so it looks like it's going to be Teddy Weikley, Luis Guerrero, Justin Anderson, Brian Smith, Mike Bass, Tony Pendon, Shane Gross in 7th, Tina, Brett Lee, and Christopher Patrick, which chose not to qualify. Let's do some weather. Today's weather is 86 degrees, wind from the east at about 6 miles an hour, no humidity, no fog, and partially cloudy. Our track configuration is 0.48 miles, and that's what my goal was, is to keep these races at half a mile, a little bit more or a little bit less. Track turns are 4, elevation is 37.57 feet above sea level, which you're right there on the ocean. Track temp is 103. Bring up our starting grid. We got Teddy Weikley on pole, outside pole, row 1, Luis Guerrero. Row 2, we got Justin Anderson in the 73 when he ran an 18.454, and Brian Smith in 4th on the outside row. We got Mike Bass in row 3, Tony Pendon. Shane Gross in row 4, he ran an 18.578, 0.248 seconds back. And then Tina Pimpkin on the outside at row 4. And that's the end of your qualifiers today. Keep an eye on the leaders here. On the start, looks like the pace lights are already off. Teddy jumps out to the lead right off the bat, leaving Lewis on the outside. Lewis and Justin battling it out there. Justin took second place very easily. The guys are settling in, trying to get their feet under them. They're getting used to how the tracks are running. Let's run back to see if we can take a look here. We got Justin in second place. Lewis Guerrero in third place. Brian Smith coming in fourth, and Mike Bass, well, fifth, and Mike Bass takes over fourth right there. Takes a little bit for the board to get working. We'll make a couple laps and everything comes into play right here. Brian looks like he's going to settle in that fifth place. Come back to Tony Pan, and he's running on the outside of Shane Gross. And then we got Tina. Tina coming in at ninth. And then David takes over 19, drops Brent drops to 10th, Tina drops to 11th. Teddy's got it dialed in. I know they didn't. They practiced a little bit last night on Sunday too, as well. So it looks like they might have got it dialed in. Uh-oh, we got a caution on the track. Looks like we got David Noddington. Let's see what we got here. See what happened to David. Looks like everything's going along quite nicely there. Oh, he looks like he got a little help from Brent. Had to check up and got a little help from Brent. Everybody's going into the pits to get their service. So now probably won't be able to really see what a fuel run's going to be. I think they might have been the only one that came in. I didn't see anybody else come in yet. Nope, looks like everybody did. Everybody came in. We got a little bit a splash of fuel, a little bit tire, so that's probably the end of any kind of a green flag pit stop right there. We're not sure on that. That gives Justin Anderson the lead, and Tony Penn on the outside row. And looks like here we go for start number 2. Looks like the pace trucks. Lights are still on, so they must have thrown another caution to get everybody sorted. We got one green-white checker situation here. Double file restarts. Lap cars and Lucky Dog's in place, and lap cars get waved around.
Enough to jump down in front of me. It is. It's enough to jump down and take over first place from Justin. Mike Bass and Teddy are battling it out. Mike's got the preferred line, but looks like Teddy might have a little speed on that outside row. Tony's done well on that taking that lead, and looks like he's going to stretch it out a car length or two, but Justin's fighting back hard. Looks down on the inside. Looks like that outside line might be a little more lucrative than I thought. They just seem to have a little power running off the top. Let's go back. We're looking at Teddy in third. He gets by Mike Bass pretty easily. So maybe that outside line's a little more lucrative than what we thought. Mike Bass in fourth. Brian Smith, he's settling in at fifth. Louis Guerrero in sixth. You know who we're missing? We're missing Lloyd, our winner from last week, and second place in the championship. That's who we're missing. Shane Gross in seventh, and David Naughton in eighth. Mr. Patrick, and Chris hasn't been racing with us. He doesn't have a lot of these tracks, so we're glad to see him back. Welcome back, Chris, and hopefully you race with us. I know you have Martinsville, so hopefully we'll see you next weekend. And I understand that, not everybody has all these short tracks, especially the newer ones, and totally understandable. That's an expense that not everybody wants to take on. Yeah, we totally get that. And if we, want you guys pick up a track or two here and there, then maybe we do this again in a season or two, and then you'll have everything we need to race a full season. Tony seems to be hanging on to the lead. Looks like Teddy's coming up to third place. And he's going to try to put the moves on Justin here. Like Teddy's got his car dialed in. That's really the biggest battle right here and right now. I mean, well, they're all big right here in the top four. But it looks like Teddy's got a line on that third place, on that second place car, and he's gonna get it in the next lap or two, or at least he's gonna be down beside him. So those of you in the real world racing, the Xfinity race is going to be on this afternoon, 2:30 my time, Pacific, 5:30 Eastern. I believe they're going to be at Talladega, which is always a good one. And then tomorrow, on Sunday, at normal time, will be I think 9:30, 12:30 my time. Talladega is always good fun. Enjoy it. And also, keep an eye on the broadcast for Tuesday night Shine Runners. They're going to be running two of the Retro Series, Winston Cup, Shine Runners Winston Cup Series, running the retro cars that they just came out. And they're going to be at Rockingham. We did Daytona last weekend, and it was quite a lot of excitement. These cars are a handful, and especially on the super speedways. I've been told that at Rockingham they're not quite as unpredictable on a shorter venue, so should be some good hard racing. And I know they picked up quite a few members because of this particular type of series, and so they've got 20-25 cars in the field, and it's always good fun watching those guys. So keep
to see mine for Tuesday nights. We're back to Lewis in 5th. He drops to 6th. Looks like Brian and him, they're battling for 5th and 6th right here. Shane's kind of just biding his time, waiting to see what's going to happen. Brian falls to 6th. Shane's just going to wait around and see what he can do here. We got David, he's in 8th place. Chris or Patrick, he's having some problems. He's struggling. He's quite a bit back, and 9 seconds back from the leader, so he's struggling. He probably didn't get a whole lot of practice in. And Tina, she's running 10th. And it looks like Brent Lee may have retired already. He's 5 laps down. So it looks like he may have retired already. Sorry to see that, Brent. With David, so maybe he gave it up. Didn't have enough practice in or whatever. But we want you back, Brent, so don't leave us forever. I know this is a lot of work, these short tracks, and it takes a little bit of practice to get them mastered. Like Justin is taking a commanding lead. Tony's kind of fallen to 2nd place, so maybe his car went away a little bit. He doesn't have having the tires he needs. We got Justin Anderson. He doesn't have a win in our series yet, but he's been there as a contender almost every week. Last week he had a little issue and got shuffled back. But he's usually a contender almost every race that you have of any type. So it looks like today might be his day, but it's early yet. Flip back to Tony. These guys are all front runners almost every week. It looks like Teddy's kind of settled in. Teddy's kind of settled in for 3rd, and then Mike Bass right there. Lewis, I believe, is one of the practicers. He's practiced every session, and then he's also asked me for the setup information, because these cars haven't passed spec. Even if there is a setup for this particular car on this particular track, there's been little problems with the spec. So just a slight adjustment to the camber or to the spring perch has brought these cars in line to pass tech. So he's been the ones asking me, hey, what's the adjustment you're making, so I can practice on my own. Bass in 4th place. He's got 1 win under his belt, and he's the championship leader. Tina Pimpkin in the 28 car, she's moving up out of the way so she doesn't interfere with these guys. Lewis in 5th place. Brian settling into 6th place. 6th place. And Shane's falling to 7th, or to 8th. There's David. Yep, we skipped David. It's not right, is it, David? We don't want to skip you. Shane in 8th. Chris or Patrick in 9th. He's just running around in the back of the field. He's about to get lapped here. Yeah, Justin's got him in his sights. He's about to get lapped. So Justin's, well, looks like we got a challenge for second place on the outside, but I don't know if he can. He got up in the marbles there and lost quite a few spots. Looks like he lost, he's going to lose a couple more if he doesn't get in line here. Lewis is not going to give him a break. He's going to close that door for him. Tony got up out of the groove and then got shuffled back a couple of spots, and Lewis is not going to give it to him. He's going to have to work for it. He gets it. He had to work for it, though. So that puts Tony back in 4th place. And that brings Teddy back up to 2nd with a pretty good gap, though. And then there's a lap car between the 2nd and 1st place driver, Christopher Patrick. So they've got to work their way through the field to around him and in order to catch back up. Looks like Justin's got the car today. He's got a 1.2 second lead over the 2nd place driver. Chris is jumping up out of the way to let these guys go. Not quite halfway. Let me see. It's been 36 laps since the last pit stop for most of these guys, 35 and 36. And so we'll see if it goes green for a while. I don't see any reason why it wouldn't. How many laps are in the pit stop? Thank you, dear. The coffee girl just arrived. Thank God. These guys race, and it's 9 o'clock in the morning for me, or 9:25. For me, it's 6:25 in the morning. So I'm just trying to get my eyes open. So this is the big race right here. Lewis is taking a clear 4th place over Brian Smith, and Tony's falling to 6th. His car's giving it up. Looks like their tires are done. They're just waiting for that pit stop, and I'm surprised they haven't pitted early, actually. They're on 39 laps on these tires. Maybe even a little more if they didn't go in on that first caution. The field is starting to really spread out now. Shane is following 7th. Came up to 7th. He was in 8th. And David's falling to 8th. Christopher Patrick, he's a lap down in 9th, and Tina is a lap down in 10th. Justin's still kind of stretching it out here. He's 1.2, maintaining a pretty good gap, 1.2 seconds over 2nd place driver, which is what it was about 5 or 6 laps ago. So it seems like he's keeping a pretty steady pace. His best lap was 18.541. He just ran a 19.487. So, oh, there he goes, in for pit. First taker at 42 laps. So they're about 2nd off. Those tires will fall off, about a 2nd off after the little bit of fall off on the tires. Let's see what Justin does. See that takes all 4. Let's see who's good. Got all 4 in a full tank. And that was at lap 52. Let's see who else is coming in. Nobody so far. Everybody else is stretching it out. So Justin short pitted it a little bit. That pulls Teddy into the lead. So I'm sure these guys are going to be taking their fuel stop any minute. There we go. We got Mike Bass and Louis Guerrero coming into their pit. Tony Pandon looks like he's in. Brian Smith is in.
Looks like Ryan got in his pit stop a little wonky there. Looks like they're all taking 4. Looks like Mike Bass gets off the jump there a little quicker than the rest of the field. See what Teddy's doing. Teddy's still stretching it. He's still stretching it out there. That brings Shane up into 2nd place as well. I'm sure these guys will be pitting momentarily, but Teddy's going for the gusto there. He's putting the laps down. He wants to get a little bit of a jump on these guys. There he goes. Comes in for his pit. Looks like Shane might be up there too, or I'm not sure who that was that went in there. That's Christopher Patrick in there as well, and then we've got Shane. He went in the lap before Teddy. So in a few minutes we'll see who inherits that. Like Shane's in and out. I don't know if that was a quick pit stop for Shane, but he went in the lap before, so not really. That brings Justin up into the lead right now. Teddy's got 4 in fuel. He's dropped into 5th. Let's see where he stands. You got Tony gonna try to put him down to 6th, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. Ooh, that was close. Patience, Tony. He showed good patience right there. All right, that brings Justin back up into the lead. And he's stretching out again a little bit more. He's got 3 seconds over Mike Bass, the 2nd place driver. And with a few cars in between, looks like Tina's getting ready to come in for her service. Lewis Square in 3rd. I don't know who's between those two. I think whoever it was went in. Whoever it was between them went in. Lewis Square comes in 3rd. Brian Smith brings that pit stop, helps him out, brings him up to 4th. Teddy up to 5th with a little bit of gap, so Teddy's got some work to do. Tony Pennon in 6th. Shane in 7th. David in 8th. And Tina coming in 10th. Christopher Patrick. Tina had an extra long pit stop there, it seemed like. Christopher Patrick in 9th. Yeah, Tina looks like she might have had a miscue in her pit. That seemed extra long to me. So we're back on Justin, the leader. The only thing I wish this would show me is incident points. Well, it does show me. So David's had 3 incidents. Christopher Patrick 1. Brent Lee 2, and he's out. So it does show, it just doesn't highlight him. So nobody anywhere close to being in fear. Everybody's on 2 stops. The top speed usually, it looks like it's about 102 miles an hour, 103. Here's 116, 115. David Knighton, he got it up to 115 on the backstretch. That's probably your top speed. I see a 119. Still, lap time has slowed down, not a lot, about half a second. Justin just turned a 19.00, and his fast lap was 18.5. So lap times are slowing down a little bit, but there's no reason for him to run really hard because he's got a pretty good lead, almost a second lead on the 2nd place guy. Here he's coming upon Tino, turning some lap traffic, slowing down a little bit. So he's 9.85. It looks like Mike is picking it up though. Down, he's got it down, narrowed down to 0.733 gap. He's also one of the guys to watch out for. He's already got a win under the belt this season on our opener, so he's the guy and he won He took the win at Shine Runners the other night at Daytona, and that was his first race with that league. So that shows the strength this guy carries along with him. He's got patience, and he's got patience, and he's intelligent enough to read the field and know where to be at the right time. Especially at Daytona, that's a crapshoot. Looks like he's bringing it right up. Justin's slowing down a little bit. Giving it an 18.2. Looks like we got a little problem there. Teen had a little issue. So he's trying to figure out where she's going to be so he can get around her. His job to pass her, and she's up in the marble, so let's hope that doesn't affect anything. You can see there's quite a bit of marble up in the top now. And that could always take you out, or spin you out. It just depends on how hard you are on the loud pedal there. And on these tracks, you got to be pretty delicate. You can't really jump on that pedal too hard, otherwise you'll come around. So Mike's definitely giving that first place position a look. He wants it. We're going to stay on this battle for a bit because it looks like something's going to happen. We're just a little bit over halfway. About 10 laps over halfway at 74 laps. Excuse my language. Just dropped my glasses on the floor. Alright, so Mike's working it hard for that first place. He's still got a little time left, but he's going to use up those tires, so unless there's a caution, that might put him in a bad position. We're a pretty good gap to third place, 1.4 seconds from first, and then another big gap back to fourth place of Brian Smith. Teddy, he's been a contender, but looks like he's falling back in the line. He's just running his line and waiting for something to happen. And Tony as well, back to sixth. Shane back to 7th. There's quite a bit of gap between these cars now. So the only real race right now is on the track is between second and third, or first and second, I'm sorry. The rest of everybody's just kind of riding around, hoping for a caution. And Mike's putting a lot of pressure on Justin. Wearing his tires out trying to stay ahead of Mike, and Mike's wearing his tires out trying to pressure Justin. So these guys ought to run out of steam about the same time, and then it's going to get slick, and then that'll determine who has the best car control. We're hoping some of you guys jump back in here from Martinsville. I know that's everybody's favorite, so hopefully we'll see an increase in the field next week. Because I know everybody likes Martinsville. Oh, here we go. He just can't get enough. He can't get enough to dive down on that inside. He pulls right up on him, but he doesn't have anything left to make that dive down and get halfway up the door before he can make the pass. And he could do a little bump and run, but that could be costly for both drivers. And I'm sure down towards the end of the race that might be the case. But we're still got 40 some laps to go, 38 laps, something like that, so a little too soon for the bump and run. So I'm back to the third place driver. Lewis is watching these guys battle it out, so he's narrowing the gap. And Brian's just kind of hanging back and forth waiting to see what's going to happen. This is the battle right here. Mike's just kind of in the hunt here. He's waiting for Justin to make a mistake. Just all it takes is a little mistake, a little slip up the track, and this position will change. But Justin looks like he's showing a great deal of patience as well. and he's just not. He's trying to search different lines to keep Mike from getting that inside. He's staying right off the yellow there. That's to save his tires a little bit. He doesn't want to get right down on the yellow line to eat up those tires. And oh, here we go. Mike takes the dive down. Looks like he lets him have it. He's tired of battling him. It looks like he's going to do a crossover, but he can't. So Mike Bash, your new leader. That gives Lewis a chance to kind of snug up to Justin. Pick up third place. Up. Justin's going in the pits. He gives up the lead. And it's only been 28 laps since his last pit stop, so what happened? Not sure why he's going, and he's going to short pit. A little pit strategy going on here, I think. Let's see what he does. Looks like he's going for 4. Looks like he's exercising a little pit strategy. That gives Mike the lead. Mike's going in too, so they're short and pitting, so they can finish out the race with a few laps. So that 30% seems to be a good round figure on the pit stops. It's forcing these guys to go in on the green and play some pit strategy. So that's good. So that's working. Happy to see that action. Oh, Mike had a miscue in his pit. That's going to cost him. That could get Lewis out ahead of him. He looks like he just takes 2. 2 in a splash. That puts Tony in the lead. David in second place. Looks like Brian falls to third place. Looks like he came in. So everybody's having a short pit to finish the race. Alright, looks like our pit stop strategies are working out. Tony gives up the lead. Looks like David's coming in now. Mike's already finished this thing, so he might inherit the lead right here. And that should put Justin up in the second. Ooh! Little full tire situation there. That brings Mike up into the lead. Justin Anderson back up to second place. Luis Guerrero in third place. So a little bit of shake-up, but Mike maintains the lead. Good job. So we got about 32 laps to go. So they split the difference, I guess. And we got David coming out of the pits right now. Pretty big gap back to second place. And then a little bit of gap back to third place. And then it's a big march forward for Brian. Teddy's still hanging in there. Tony just finished the service team out in 6th place. Shane in 7th. David in 8th. Christopher Patrick in 9th, 1 lap down. David's also 1 lap down. Tina 2 laps down. So if there were to be a caution, looks like David might be in line for the lucky dog. I'm not exactly sure who is in line. Now Mike's got his work cut out. I believe this will probably be the run to the end of the race unless there's a caution. Mike could be on a roll this week. This might be, if he can hold on to this deal, it might be his second win of the week. Looks like there's a lap car. David's a lap car in between. He's trying to get his lap back. Justin's 1.3 seconds back, and then Lewis is right on Justin right there. So there's a battle. That's third or second place right there. That's probably the best battle on the track right now. Justin's got a pretty good line, so I don't know if he can, if Lewis has anything for him. They're going to get involved with these lap cars right here.
Christopher moves up and lets him go. But here's this is pretty much the biggest race right here. Let's go back to Mike. Mike's out there by himself. Justin and Lewis are the next biggest battle, so we'll keep an eye on those guys. They both kind of need to be patient and not race each other right now. They've got a little bit of time left. 24 laps to go, a little bit of time left, so they need to catch up to Mike. And if they race each other, that's not going to happen. And David, he's hanging on. He's not giving it up. Looks like Lewis doesn't really have much for him. He's right there, but I don't think he has enough to get by Justin. But that's given Mike the ability to stretch it out. He's at still 1.33 seconds. And he's got a lap car cushion in between first and second, which is going to help him out. David's got no reason to let up on him because there's nobody, not a lead lap car pressuring him, so he's got no reason to run high and let these guys get snugged up. And this is the big battle right here. Looks like Lewis is taking a look at it. Down on the inside, taking a look at it. Yep, looks like he might have another shot at it. No, he lost a little bit. He's turning down too quickly there, it looked like, and he lost a little bit. He's giving it a try, though. He's giving it a good look. Go back to Brian, see if Brian's picking up. Brian's picking up on these guys, their battle, so he's actually snugging up on them a little bit. Teddy seems like he's content to run in 5th place. He's just riding along. And Tony as well. So unless there's a caution to snug these guys up. Alright, sorry about that, guys. So my wife taking off to go to the grocery store. Coming in hot now. My room gets pretty hot with all these computer screens and everything like that. I've got the door shut for quiet. And it does. It's pretty warm in here. I don't even realize it until after it's over and I'm sweating. Looks like Christopher Patrick. He's up to 9th, 2 laps down. Tina, she's only a lap down, so still David. I still think David's in a lucky dog position if there were to be a caution, but it doesn't appear that there's going to be. We got 15 laps to go. Seems like Mike's got a commanding lead, good cushion with David in between. The biggest battle right now on the track is Justin and Lewis. And I think Lewis is giving up on that. He's still there, but I don't know if he's got enough to pass. I think he tried it a few laps back and just doesn't have enough. So he's going to get that top 5. So it looks like Mike's on a roll this week. These are the guys that were clamoring for this short track series in these cars. Mike and Tony, and you can see why. Mike's a short track king. He loves these cars and the venues that we put out there, and he shows it. He's showing it right now. Justin as well. These guys are all loving this. We got about 50-50. 50 loving it and 50 tolerating it. So, and I know Martinsville will be a little different story. Everybody loves Martinsville, no matter what. They just do. And then we're going to be running that under the lights next week, so that's even better. Oh, and David decides to give it up. Let these guys race for it. So now Mike's got a little bit to worry about. 10 laps to go, but I don't know if Justin can catch up to him and do anything in 10 laps.
This is about the biggest battle on the track, so we'll just keep our eye on these guys right here. Let's look at Lewis's viewpoint here. Looking at Justin here, he's looking at it like, can I get in there? Can I get there? I get this close, I get this close, but I can't get down inside. He's protecting his line. And he's so patient not to get on that throttle a little bit too soon. Oh, looks like he got in the wall there. Yep, got a little wall action there that hurt him. So that battle's over. 7 laps to go. Looks like Justin's catching up to Mike a little bit here, so we might have a battle for first and second here. Yep. So let's have a look. Let's look at Justin here. Looks like Justin's he's got a shot at it now. And like 5 laps ago, I didn't think it was possible. Look, Justin's right there, and he's giving Mike some pressure. He's pressuring Mike. Mike's got 5 laps of intense pressure on him right now. Justin wants that lead. Let's get back to it. Uh-oh, looks like Justin gets down on the inside. Can Mike hold him on the outside? Doesn't look like it. Oh, here we go. Mike gets down and pressures him down in the corner, but it's not enough, I don't think. He doesn't have enough to get down in front of him. Justin's holding on to that down inside line. Justin got him by half car length right here. We got a blinker. Looks like Lewis is blinking a little bit. It's going to be a photo finish, everybody. 4 to go. These guys are battling hard. Let's see if they can do it clean. He's got a blinker going on. Justin gets about almost at car length. Just can't quite get clear that bumper to do a little block. He's right there. And it looks like he might have this lap. Lewis is hanging in good in 3rd place. That brings Brian back up to 4th and 2nd. So there's a battle for 3rd and 4th as well. There we go. Looks like, oh. What happened to Mike? He got sprung down on the inside. Looks like a clean altercation. Is there going to be a caution? Is there going to be a caution? 2 to go. I don't believe there's, unless there was some net code going on there. I believe that Mike just lost it. Let's go back to, oh, he was involved. Yeah, so there might have been a little net code going on because he was blinking. Lewis is in and out. Teddy, that puts him in 3rd or 4th, and Brian Smith's in 3rd. Yeah, I think Lewis has got an internet issue. So that might have been the downfall of Mike, I think. But I'm not sure. We'll get back into the team speak to find out. Justin takes the win. Nothing due to him. I believe if there was a netcode issue, it was between Lewis, which unfortunately affected the leader, or the 2nd place driver at that point. There we go, there we go. Alright, let's look at our results. We got Justin Anderson coming in 1st in a close battle. Lewis, he gets the 2nd place. 3rd place Brian Smith, 4th place Teddy Wykley, 5th place Tony Pendon, 6th place Shane Gross, 7th place David Naughton, 8th place Mike Bass, 9th place Christopher Patrick, and 10th Tina. I believe that's the end of your results. Brent Lee came in 11th. He retired early, and then I was never in the race. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Pretty exciting race, even though we didn't have a big field, so we appreciate everybody hanging in there for the broadcast. And if you like what you saw, please hit a like and a subscribe in there, and look for us on Tuesday nights for Shine Runners. They're at Rockingham this week in the Retro Ford Thunderbird and Chevy Monte Carlo. We appreciate your time. Thanks.